Before analysing Manchester City's attacking patterns, we first need to examine the defensive strategy Nottingham Forest brought into this match, while fighting to avoid relegation. Nottingham Forest's top priority was to deny Manchester City access to the central areas as much as possible. To achieve this, they established a compact 5-3-2 low block in the defensive third, shifting collectively toward the direction of the ball while maintaining compactness. When the possessor was positioned near the side of the defensive line, two defenders would step out to mark him. If the ball was then played into a wider area with relatively more space, the fullback would quickly step forward to engage the attacker. At the same time, one midfielder would drop into the defensive line to maintain the back five, minimizing the gaps in central areas.
13.6 and he ended up scoring.
One of City's key methods to break Nottingham's low block was exploiting the horizontal gaps created during the defensive shift, using Haaland's curved runs in behind. As City circulate the ball to the left, the opponent's low block shifts in that direction. At this moment, a horizontal gap appears within the defensive line. City immediately look to exploit it. Cherki, the possessor, makes a curved run toward the center, drawing the defender's attention. As their focus shifts to him, Haaland makes a quick, curved run into the space behind the gap between the defenders. Cherki then plays a pass between the lines through the opened horizontal gap, exploiting the space in behind. Despite the defender tracking back, Haaland uses his pace to reach the ball. The second strategy is to lure the opponent deeper, use a positional rotation to disrupt the block, and then play a quick pass between the lines. As the opponent applies strong pressure on the possessor, he plays a back pass to lure them forward. As intended, the opponent steps out, creating space in behind. The ball is then circulated back to the left side. This time, Ait Nouri in possession dribbles slightly toward the center, deliberately attracting the defenders. As planned, Ait Nouri draws three defenders toward him before releasing the ball to Cherki on the right. Immediately after the pass, Ait Nouri attempts a positional rotation with Silva, who had been positioned higher up the pitch, in order to disrupt the defensive structure. Although the defenders do not fully step out as intended, the movement successfully distracts their attention. At that moment, Foden makes a curved run into the space behind the defensive line. Cherki then drives a firm pass between the lines. A defender attempts to clear the ball, but fails to do so. Foden collects the ball, attracts the defender, and then releases it to Silva, who has become free as a result. Silva, facing little pressure, delivers a short cross toward the far post, where a potential 2v1 situation can be created. The third strategy is to create space in Zone 14 through a series of penetrative runs into the box. The opponent forms a compact, low block, slightly shifted toward the right, where the ball is located. As the ball is played to the right flank, two defenders step out to apply pressure. When the possessor pulls the ball slightly backward, the two defenders are drawn further out, and space opens up in Zone 14. A pass is then played into that space. As two defenders move to press Cherki in possession, two attackers make consecutive runs into the box, pulling the defenders away. As a result, space opens in Zone 14, and the situation shifts from a 2v1 into a 1v1 for Cherki. Using his excellent dribbling ability, Cherki isolates the defender, beats him with ease, and finishes the move with a shot. The final strategy focuses on a central overload, built around Cherki's dynamic superiority. As Guehi carries the ball forward, the opponent's defensive block shifts toward the center. Guehi continues to drive forward, repeatedly drawing defenders out of position. As a result, space opens up for Cherki on the right side. Shortly after, Haaland moves toward the far post, pulling two defenders with him. Once again, Cherki uses his excellent dribbling ability to create a 1v1 isolation against his defender. Two additional defenders quickly step in to block his crossing angle. However, Cherki manages to deliver a short cross through a very tight gap. At that moment, the defender's attention is focused on Cherki. Meanwhile, Haaland's movement has already dragged two defenders toward the front of the goal. As a result, the space opens completely for Semenyo and Foden behind them. Semenyo eventually converts the chance with a precise finish.